Hey, listen to Commander Cookout Podcast, episode 350. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan, and we're going to tell you how to be the absolute best at Magic ever. Now, hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
Good. What is going down?
Whole ton is going down. We're going to teach people how to be the absolute best like no one ever was. To catch them is their real test, and to train you is our cause. But before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business daddies, FusionGamingOnline.com. They are your source for all your gaming needs.
Very much so. And this one is coming out in the future.
Yep, we're in the future.
And I got this.
Oh.
So either when this comes out, before, after, around, good friends of the show, Aaron and Amy, came and visited us.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Aaron sent some cards from Fusion to my house so he could pick them up because they have insane fast shipping.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I sent some cards from America to their house, and they're going to bring them with them.
Oh, well, check this out. I got some more story.
Ooh.
Aaron used CCO Slam promo code. He was the first guy.
Wow.
And saved 5% off his whole order.
Man, I didn't even use CCO Slam yet.
Dang, man,
Probably.
you got to get on it.
I probably should.
So this is what he says. He says back in the old year,
Yep. Doesn't even matter what number it was.
Anno Domini 2022, he goes, these two orders, and he's got a store from the States on the West Coast where he lives very close to.
Uh-huh.
And he's got a FusionGamingOnline.com envelope. They're sitting right next to each other in the picture.
Oh, shit.
And he goes, these two packages ordered within minutes of each other, arrived at the same day. So there's one in the same city he lives in versus one in a different country on the opposite side of the continent, arrived the same day. He said, I'm a supporter forever.
Boom.
Because they actually are fast.
They are.
And you've told, like I've told you, same day shipping notification.
Oh, yeah.
3 days later, if you're watching on YouTube.
Which you should be.
And we thank you if you are. It means a lot to us. 3-day shipping, and it's at my doorstep.
I've definitely ordered stuff after the store has closed, got same day shipping on the weekend, and it gets there on Tuesday. Like that is shit that's
we're
happened.
we're not BSing when we say that.
It's good.
If they weren't fast at shipping, then we wouldn't say that they are.
Oh,
we
certainly
wouldn't
not.
lie on our own show. It doesn't behoove us.
No, it's not good for our business or theirs.
Oh, well.
So you could support them with CCO Slam, or you could support our business tip touchers, as Ryan likes to say, or Scissor Sisters, as Daddy Ass. So wait, scissor me, Daddy Ass. Yeah, I love doing that.
I love
doing
scissoring.
that. Scissoring is the best. We like to scissor with geekwood.ca. They're your source for several high-end gaming supplies where you can use special promo code Commander Cookout.
CCO Podcast.
CCO Podcast.
You're close.
I was very close. CCO Podcast at checkout. Save yourself 10% off of some really cool shit, including my frog dice, which I definitely forgot again this week.
It's been a whole year.
5-color mono white angel Aaron's dice rolling tower / dice holding thing / his compartmentalized dice sack, all of which are very cool.
It's huge.
It is very
And
big.
fuzzy.
Yes, it is.
I like all those things.
Those things are true. I don't know about like his physical sack, but the dice holding sack, which I guess is also a physical sack,
Yes.
very cool.
Yeah, better than Uncle Brando's dirty sock.
Yeah,
For holding stuff.
Dirty foil sock.
So
Got foils and a cue ball in it.
So as I've been talking to the owners of Geekwoods, and I says, hey, can you build me this thing? He goes, hey, let me see. And I'm like, can you laser engrave it? He's like, no, but we can heat stamp it.
Ooh.
And I think that's going to give you a more rustic look, and I think that's perfect for CCO. And I said, hey, you remember that thing we were talking about? He goes, I've involved this woodworking guy I know.
Oh, man.
And we're building this thing. So
shit.
we're working on a prototype. I'm not going to
Ooh.
say what it is. It's not a dice tray or a dice tower because that's a little bit more for dice style games, even though Aaron, 5-color mono white angel Aaron, always has us tricked out at F&M,
Oh, man.
right? Because he's a Geekwood fanatic.
Yeah, he's very supportive. We
But
appreciate that. Lots.
we are working on something through Geekwood that is both CCO branded and very
cool as hell.
yes, and also very relevant to Magic players. which I'm excited about. But I don't want to say too much more in case the prototype completely explodes in their face and sucks, and we all just want to
be sad for
end
a
it
while.
all.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in CCO land.
Yeah. The story.
I was going to say, you had this story. We've got this milestone episode where we're going to talk about LGS and how awesome it is and
how to be the best at Magic ever.
Yes, and that ties right into a CCO's top 5 in 5 that I did last week, or 2 weeks ago now, where it's like best ways to improve at Magic. And all of these ways are free because they're not going to cost you any money. You just have to not be a dick. But you have this story.
I have this story that I really want to tell. So
Okay.
people who know me, Ryan included, will know that sometimes I will cut corners to get things that I want, and I don't necessarily need the things that I want to be the best.
Okay.
I just really want them.
You don't mind necessarily if something's like a knockoff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm at work the other day, and I really, really want some hot chocolate. And
this is the most ghetto thing you've ever done story?
And we used to have this kettle
Okay.
that we would boil water in so that we could have hot water for things. But the kettle got kind of gross and nobody ever cleaned it. So instead of cleaning it, they threw it away and didn't replace it. So now we don't really have a way of efficiently heating up just enough water to make hot chocolate.
You don't have a microwave?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to heat it up in the microwave like some kind of a...
And then it tastes like microwave?
Yeah. I don't want it to taste like
Okay.
radiation. I don't have
Okay.
right? So I'm standing there and I'm making my lunch. And I'm thinking to myself, I really want that hot chocolate because it's just sitting there staring at me. So I gets a spoon and I gets a scoop of hot chocolate.
Okay.
And I put it in my mouth and then I go to the sink and I make the water kind of warm and I put it in a glass and then I just drank it. And I swooshed it around in my mouth and I just made hot chocolate in my own mouth and then drank it that way.
That's better than making it in your ass.
That's right. But
That is a very Brando thing to do. And
Yes.
it wouldn't surprise me that from this moment henceforth, that's just how you do it.
yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to do it again. It was very efficient and got me exactly what I wanted, which was hot chocolate. And it wasn't too hot, and it had like a little bit more chocolate than you usually get because like I put like a whole, like probably a big glass worth of hot chocolate in my mouth.
Yes.
But then I used like a medium-sized cup of water.
What if you coughed and it just dust cloud came out?
That would also be funny.
That would be very funny.
Right?
Like when people do the cinnamon challenge and then cough and a cloud comes out and then they laugh and more comes out.
Yeah.
Did people make fun of you?
No. They were all like, yeah, that checks out.
Oh.
You have to. I showed up with I have a backpack that I bring to work that has my lunch and all my stuff in it,
Yeah.
and it's a little ghost. And for the longest time, people thought I was just wearing a cape, and they didn't question me about it. They were like, "Oh, that's a ghost? I thought it was a cape," and nobody said anything when they thought I was just wearing a cape.
Math checks out.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Brando is gonna like show up in a furry cat suit,
Yeah.
and he's gonna be like, "I need a bathroom just for cats, and if you can't provide me a bathroom, I need a litter box in the bathroom." You know, there's schools that have that. Hey.
No, it's not real. We looked into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not real.
Okay, good.
Yes, that is not a real thing. It actually stemmed from a very, not a sad story, but like a thing down in the States where there was a school that was doing, and I hate to even talk about this, mass shooting drills.
Oh yeah.
And there was a suggestion that maybe they should put a bucket of kitty litter in the closet. So if the kids have to hide in the closet for long while the shooting's going on, they could go in the bucket.
They could relieve themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a safety thing. I
Yeah, that's
guess. Or
kind
a
of
sanitary thing.
Yeah, that's where that started. And it's like, holy shit, that's wow.
Yeah, let's change the subject.
Yeah, let's
I was going to say no kink shaming in the nation if you have a litter box for yourself.
Yeah, if you want to do that, that's totally cool. Just make sure you clean it often because it can attract bugs and smell.
Yeah, the smell is what I was thinking. Yeah. My recommendation, a toilet.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you can teach your cat to use the toilet, that's also pretty ace.
Modern plumbing is it's a good thing.
Yep.
I don't think we should go back.
I think it's the third best invention humanity has ever come up with after the airplane and the firework.
Ooh, well,
Airplane, firework, plumbing.
That's not what I would have said, but those are good ones.
Those are my three
Those
favorite
are good
inventions.
ones. Speaking of good inventions,
Yeah.
This is kind of a weak segue, but
That was a weak segue.
But playing at the LGS, great invention.
Well, let's rewind it a little bit. We're talking about the box in the closet, right? And the reason that they had the box in the closet is because things are bad, and things should get better.
Yes.
And if you want to be better, maybe not like
there's a
way,
segue.
But at Magic, we're going to give you some tips that are free, and in some cases will save you money.
I like all those.
It's not only going to not cost you anything, it might make you have more money. Right?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Right?
Okay, so none of these tips, I don't think, will directly make you better at Magic, though some of these tips might influence the quality of your play.
They are going to make you way better at Magic and influence. You're going to win more games.
I was going to say if
you're going to win money.
You can play Magic for money.
The people
on
of your
the street.
The people of your preferred sex will be more attracted to you if you listen to what we say.
I think that is actually true, because Magic does influence how we act, because the game teaches us stuff. There's a Commander at Populum tip right there. What I was going to say is, if you want free ways to get better at Magic, we've got at least 2 top 5 in 5s on that. At least 2.
Yeah.
How to get better without spending money, and free ways to get
good, scrub.
To get good. Yeah, I think the file I sent to Tyler was top 5 get good. We renamed it though, of course. These are ways. We've got this milestone episode, and we've done episodes like this a little bit in the past, where we talk about our LGS because we think that we've got a really good gaming environment.
Yeah.
And for sure we know that us and the CCO Dude Bros are longtime friends, both from before Magic, but also through Magic, because we met because we play Magic, right?
Yeah.
And we want to provide, or we want to make sure that we're giving CCO Nation our most uppest to date and modern kind of ways of thinking and approaching play with friends and play at your LGS, and probably even play at bigger events.
As do humans and life. Things grow and change.
Yeah.
And thus we want to make sure that you're always growing and changing in the direction that you can avoid growing pains, because if you step on a nail, you want to make sure that other people don't walk that way, so they don't step on the nail. You want to walk around the nail.
There, hit him with the CCO life lesson, Joe.
There it is.
There it is. Okay, so I've got a couple notes here.
Hit them. Or me, or them. Hit it.
Hit them, yeah. The first one that I like to always do or think about, and this is something that Alan from Mental Misplay talked to me about in Vegas, is being a good leader, or leading from the front, or leading by example.
Yeah.
Because we have Commander Cookout, and because you and I are 2 of the longest time patrons of our local game store where we play EDH. We went there before we played EDH.
Yeah.
But you and I were 2 of the first people who played on Commander Night.
Yeah.
And because people know that, and we make it almost every Thursday, but we're going to call it F&M.
EDH&M.
EDH&M. We always want to make sure that we're doing stuff right.
Yeah.
Right? And that is supporting the local game store by buying booster packs or whatever, and being a good sport, and making sure that people feel included if they're new.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like, what's your name? I never seen you. Is this your first night or whatever? Have you played Commander long? That's kind of a combination of looking at it from above, like, what's the word?
Looking at it from 30,000 feet?
Yeah, but I'm looking at it from like 10 feet.
Top down?
I'm looking at it from the top down, just to make sure that there's nobody by themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, Magic players aren't going to do that, because they just come to play Magic.
Yeah.
And if that guy's not playing Magic, I'm going to go over here, because these people are playing Magic and I know them.
Yeah.
If it's me walking in and I see somebody I don't recognize, I'd say, hey, are you here to play Magic? And then that's how you start a conversation.
Yeah. And then they'll say, yeah. And you say, well, then sit down.
Sit down and I'll beat you up.
Yeah, here's a sticker.
Yeah, here's a CCO sticker.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
And if you think that's an exaggeration, you should see me meet new people. It's very funny.
Do you have any weird kinks? Because I will shame them. There it is. Yeah. I'm getting right into it. The first thing is, do you play Magic? The second question, what's your kink?
Yeah. And then if it's something that you think is weird, shame them. Nah, there's no shaming in the nation.
Take it upon yourself to make sure that people are being included. And that could mean different types of people, young people, old people, new people, experienced people, anything.
Yep.
Yes. I think that goes without saying, but we have to say it.
And you might say it or might think to yourself, well, what can I do to do that? And here's what you do. This is a step-by-step guide to making sure that people are included.
Hit them with the truth.
Let's say you got tables.
Yep.
And people are playing Magic at them.
Yep.
And there's a seat that you can sit down in where there's a game not happening, but it could start.
Yep.
Sit in the chair, start the game. That's it. If you see somebody come in and you got an empty chair, say, hey, man, sit in the chair.
Sit in that chair.
Play the game. That's it.
You
It
know,
doesn't matter. It's like, you don't go, look at that fucking guy. Or, I don't want to sit next to that fucking guy. You just sit in the chair.
Yep.
Play the game.
Yep.
The only reason you don't sit next to the fucking guy is because maybe you've played with them before and you know that you don't mesh. And that's okay too. Because they're going to play with somebody else.
Yes. As long as everybody's doing and thinking the way that you just described, just sit down and play. Or sit down and start the process of playing a game. Getting decks out. What are we playing? Roll a dice to see who goes first, right? And that is like the icebreaker.
Yep.
This is what I walk into a lot at the LGS because it starts at about 5:30, right?
Yeah.
And it goes till about 8:30. So people game for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's 3 or 4 games.
Oh, man. We got 6.
Oh,
Yeah, because we had some blowouts.
I got 2.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had a slog. Okay, so I usually arrive around 6. And I play 1 or 2 games because sometimes you get there and there's exactly 12 people.
Yep.
And that happens to me frequently.
Yes.
But if there's a table of, let's say there's 11, right? Or 15. Hey, everybody comes in, like, and you and Jay and Alex or whoever says, hey, they got a pot of 3 over there. Why don't you see if you can jump in when they're done?
Yeah.
Or somebody will say, hey, yeah, we're on game 2 with each other. We'll switch it up after.
Yeah.
Or there's an empty table. Jesse just went out for a smoke. He's going to be back right away. You guys you got a pot of 3, not a pot of 2, because there's one guy sitting there already, right?
Yeah.
People will actually verbally tell the person who's walking in late where to sit because they already know people are waiting. Or like you got 6 games in.
Yeah.
4 of them might have been with the same other 3 people in the pod.
Yeah.
Hey, let's switch it up now because you played 6 games. You only brought 3 decks. So it's like, okay, I'll go and play against somebody else.
Yeah.
You go out of your way. And just talking to somebody when they walk in the door isn't going out of your way, I guess. That's the wrong language. But you make an effort to just say, that's where you're going to sit because they're waiting.
Yeah. Are they watching on YouTube? They're watching here. I'll demonstrate. Here's how much effort it is. Watch this. Sup. That's it.
Yeah.
And if you watched on YouTube, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. There's probably lots of muscles involved.
Yes.
But for somebody that doesn't know anatomy, there's like 2.
Yeah.
Your back and your neck muscle. Because those are only 2 muscles.
Back and neck. They're connected.
You just turn your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically one muscle.
And your face muscle.
Oh, yeah. And your
Because
mouth
one muscle in your face.
Yeah.
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 We're being hyperbolic. We're being a little bit, I don't know, facetious about it.
We can be facetious and flippant about this because it's so easy to do.
That's the point.
And if everybody does it, it's going to be great.
And how do you get everybody to do it without saying, hey, everybody do this? Because you're not the boss of your LGS. You do it by leading by example because other people who are either leaders or are experienced, or maybe they're a dad that comes to the LGS and when they see another dad, there's like a fucking dad language that we just know. Or when you see a kid who looks shy and you're a dad, you want to help that guy because you're a dad. Or Uncle Brando, if he saw a little kid who was in trouble, he'd help him, right?
Yeah.
All of those other types and groups of people are going to start to do the same thing because you led them with a good example. And then when they start to do it, the other people that are like them are going to start to do it. And then those other people are going to start to do it. And then that's everybody.
Yeah.
That's everybody at your LGS. When somebody walks in, hey, what's up? We're going to be finished right away. You can jump in.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, they've got a table of 3 there. Jump in with them.
Yep. Hang on just a second. We're finishing up. We'll split into a 3 so that you guys have 3.
Oh, yeah. We'll split into 3 and we'll have 2 pods of 3 instead of a pod of 4 and a pod of 2.
Yeah, you guys just sitting there like assholes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's great.
That's important stuff. And people might be thinking, but Ryan and Brando, what if I'm not a leader? What you guys are the leaders leading by example. What am I supposed to do?
I'm shy. I'm quiet. I'm an introvert.
It's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine. Just sit, because we're all there for the same thing. And if you sit down at a table with an empty chair in a pod of 4 people and put a deck on the table, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yes, putting a deck on the table usually is a playmat and a deck and a dice.
You're there to game.
It's an unspoken language at an event especially.
Yeah.
But at an LGS also, you're speaking the language of, I want to play Magic.
Yep.
And somebody
who's there to play Magic
is going to say, hey, do you want to get a game?
Yep.
And that's because that person is doing what we just described. Now, I would encourage those shy or introverted people to do their best job still of saying, hey, can I get a game in? Or is there any pods finishing up? Or can I play, right? Are you looking for a 4th? That's a huge thing I hear all the time when there's 3 buddies just crap talking. Hey, are you guys looking for a 4th? All the time at events, and we say, yeah, sit down, or we say, well, no, we're just gonna go get some beers or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll just wander, and then we'll say when we're back, we'll come find you if we see you standing up.
Yeah, find us again. Yeah.
Or if you see us walking in, like give us a wave or whatever, and we'll come over to you.
Give us the finger, and we'll.
Yes. The
CCO salute, as it were.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't called it that in a long time.
Well, we got to bring it back for 2023.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing that I want to add for our shy friends out there, if you can bring a friend. That helps.
Oh yeah, always good.
And this is important because I was kind of a little bit shy when I was growing up too.
Can you imagine Brando being shy?
Right? And look at me now. And the reason that I went from being shy to being me now is because somebody once told me to be open to being open.
Ooh.
And that doesn't mean you're just
open at 2 ends,
right? It just means like if you meet some people who are open and inviting and accepting, and you be open to accepting that, right?
I think we'll take it one onion layer deeper. One stinky onion bag layer deeper is there's all kinds of reasons why people might be closed off, introverted, shy, not open to being open, thinking that they're not going to have a good time, pessimistic, whatever word it is, right? Whatever word or feeling that it is, I like to think that if everybody kind of takes it upon themselves to make their LGS a good place to play, and not a place where you go to just cut people's throats to win a booster pack playing casual EDH, and not to say competitive is bad and casual is good. That's not what I'm saying. If everybody takes it upon themselves to be a community leader, you're going to have people feel, for lack of a better word, safe to open up, to be absorbed into that. Yeah, you kind of have to open yourself up. Yeah. You have to be open to being open to be absorbed in. You have to, like, we're opening our community's kind of side up, the door. You have to open up your door so our doors can space dock onto each other, right?
That's how docking works.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So open up your dock because we're opening up our dock, and then we can dock together.
That's right.
Space or otherwise. Mm-hmm. Because there's no space in our frickin' LGS. It's packed.
It's very small.
It's very small.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Can I hit him with a money saving way to be better at Magic? Also?
I yes.
Because if you listen,
shop at Fusion.
If you listened to last week's show, which I'm sure you did,
probably did,
you know that there's going to be a record number of secret layers and products and all that stuff.
Yes.
And this is something that I think I'm seeing a little bit actually as I'm interacting with more people, and people are seeing some of the decks that people are playing and some of the cards coming out. And we mentioned it very briefly last week. And you just take this thought out of your brain that you have to keep up with the Joneses. WotC themselves has said they don't want you to interact with all of their products. They've said it. Yep. And that's not a shot at them.
Well, it is a terrible business model. I'm just going to throw it out. It is,
but it's one of the... Don't feel like because you don't have the latest shit, or you have a deck that you really, really like, but you haven't updated it in 9 months in 12 sets that came out in those 9 months. Don't think like, oh, I can't go play because my deck's not up to date. No.
I got a story.
Yeah, like, just come.
So there's this guy I see on our local Magic Facebook group, like Magic the Gathering Saskatoon.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good group. It's a good group. Lots of good people there.
Yep. Only the best people.
He goes something like this. I'm paraphrasing, but he goes, hey, I'm from wherever. I haven't played in a little bit because I took some time off because of, like, I started playing rec hockey or something.
Sure.
Is there any place to play in town that I can come play even though I haven't played for a while? And he's making an assumption that maybe because he doesn't have the most modern, up-to-date, and probably most powerful versions of cards, or that because he's a little bit rusty in knowing how to play or playing rules or the culture of Commander, he's making assumptions that he might not be welcome or might not be able to keep up or be able to win.
Balls that.
If that's what he's worried about, is being judged on winning or losing. Yeah. Like you are sometimes in competitive events. Not that there's anything wrong with competitive events. Please don't frickin' jump on me. I don't care what kind of Magic you play. I'm just stating the differences.
Yes.
He's making those assumptions.
Yeah.
So I hopped on, and as somebody who wants to foster a good community, I said, yep, this is the place to play on Thursday night. It's Commander. Mostly it's casual, but there is a good mix of players and play styles, and everybody's welcome, and it's free.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. And then a couple other people jumped on and said, yeah, it's a good place or whatever, just confirming what I had said to kind of back me up, right?
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do. And maybe you don't have a local Facebook group, but you probably do.
Yeah.
And if it's not a local Facebook group, maybe it's a group chat like with all your Magic playing friends, or maybe it's like a freaking MySpace or community board, or whatever it is.
I mean, you could. I mean, we're not going to get into this one, but you could start one too.
I was just going to say, and if you don't have one, start one.
Yeah.
Even if you just go to and this is really being a leader, is going to your LGS and saying, is there an EDH night? And they say no. And
why not?
And you could say, why not? Is there no interest? Oh yeah, well, everybody plays Commander. Can you put it on your calendar for this day? I'll just show up. That's literally what we did.
Yeah.
What day does Commander happen? Thursday, or at the time it was Friday.
Yeah.
This is pre bubonic plague time. Yeah. We walked in and said, how come there's no Commander night? And he's like, I don't know, because nobody used to play Commander night. There'd be like 2 people, 3 people, or there'd be no space for Commander players because everybody drafted.
Yeah.
Right. People drafted long enough to get enough Commander staples. And now we showed up, and there was 3 or 4 the first night.
Yeah. There was enough for a pod.
And then there was maybe 5 or 6 the next night. I remember one night I came from the post office and had a big collection that I bought, and I was number 5 or I was number 9. And I just sat and I kind of BS between 3 tables and showed people like cards from the Dark and Fallen Empires and stuff that I had bought in this collection.
Yeah.
And that was just my Magic night. I didn't even play. I just looked at this box of jank stuff.
And by the end of that, by the time the crap hit the fan, we were like, there was way more of us than people drafting.
Oh, yeah. I think our biggest
more.
Commander night in 2019, it might have been in 2020, because I remember us talking about the bubonic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in North America yet. And there was like 36 people or something. Like, that's a big Commander night.
Yeah, that's a big night.
That's a big-ass night. And it just happened because we asked the question. And I always tell people, like, Rebecca asked me for work advice lots because I used to work in like labor relations and HR and management. And we talk about your work sometimes.
Yeah.
I say, ask the question. The worst thing that's going to happen is you say no.
Yeah.
And some people really fear rejection and really don't like it and take a hit to their confidence. The worst thing that can happen is you say no, and you just have to go a different route to set up a game or a play group. The best thing that could happen is they say yes. Or
the best thing that can happen is they say yes and they give you some money.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best thing that could happen is they say there already is a Commander
yes.
Night.
Yeah.
That's the best. If
And we're going to give you some money. There we go.
yeah, money. Yeah, that's the best. And the likelihood, if you're walking into an LGS or a game store, is that they already have one.
Yeah.
Like if you aren't part of one, they probably already have one.
They
It would
probably
behoove
do.
their business to have a Commander Night. Trust me, LGSs, it does.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but like, you're kind of, if you're a business owner and you don't have one at this point, you're kind of bad. Because, like,
Yeah. That's pressure right on. We're punching up here because we're punching to an entity that has the money and the means, probably the money, but definitely the means if you have a gaming store to have gaming happen in it.
you're going to have 16 to 20 people probably just in your store. Would those people be in your store if you weren't open for Commander? They wouldn't be.
No.
Are all of them going to buy something? Probably not. Are some of them going to buy something? Yes.
Are they going to frequent your store when they need something because they have a pleasurable experience while they're there? All important things. And okay, so we go to a local game store here, and it is just a 100% dedicated game store. Mostly they play Warhammer and other miniature style games, but they have a board game night. They do have a Magic night, and if they didn't have the 6 foot by 2 foot tables or whatever, you could play Magic on like one of those big 6x6 whatever big
the Warhammer tables? Yeah.
wargaming tables, and those are just fine. You just have to like look over the table more. There's a little bit more communication.
They're
that
pretty
needs to
fun,
happen.
actually. I do like those.
Yeah, and I've played Magic on a pool table before,
Yeah, me too.
and that's kind of hard because it's 6 feet wide, or 4 feet wide, or however wide it is. But you can do it.
Yep.
You can do all kinds of stuff
And
like
you can
that.
roll a pool ball around so you know whose turn it is.
Oh, well, usually I just know whose turn it is. But if you want to do something novel like that, you can do that.
Yeah.
The point here is if you don't have a brick and mortar location, you can always improvise. Jesse and I, we met to play. I think Geoff was there too. This is a long time ago before I even came to your house.
Yeah.
Jesse and I, no, it was Jeff. Geoff and I went all over the university trying to find like rooms that were unlocked that had nobody in them, and then different hallways. We ended up like on the 7th floor, of the other university library, not the main one, but the other one.
Yeah.
To find somewhere that nobody was in, because it was like sort of the evening, but it was during like midterms.
Right.
Balls studying.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Studying's for suckers.
Yeah.
Didn't you pay attention the first time?
Yeah, don't you remember everything that the prof said 100% to a T?
Come on
I know
now.
Brando does. The point is you might have to improvise.
Yes.
And as Magic players, we know that
We love improvising.
you love improvising. Maybe if you play D&D
Yeah.
or other wargaming things, you do have to improvise or make it up as you go a little bit. And we know that you're smart because Magic's really freaking hard.
Yes, it is.
All right, so
Yes.
I don't know. Here, what do I got here?
I like that, and I can say this, idiots can't play Magic because it's too hard. If you're playing Magic, you're automatically pretty smart.
Oh man, that's funny. Is that a T-shirt? Idiots can't play Magic together. Oh, I guess let me know in the comments if that's a T-shirt. Maybe that's a Patreon only T-shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, what do we got here? Solving issues in playgroups. This is the next thing that I maybe want to give an update on, but I don't know.
Now, within your friend group, easy, because they're your friends.
And you say, don't be a dick.
You listen, stop it. Done. Let's say they're not your homies, and it's just some dude that's griefing you at the LGS.
Yeah, there is a
You
little
excommunicate them, and you throw hot tar in their hair.
and put their head on a spear.
That's right. And then you put gum on their shoe.
Oh, that's the worst.
Tie their shoelaces together, slap them.
Stomp their dink on the table. Say, whip it out. You're being a dink, so now it's gonna get stomped.
It's over.
Take your deck box
Yeah.
and just smuck them. Smuck them. No, this one is a little bit challenging.
The physical violence aside.
Oh, yeah. Dealing, I don't want to say that guy, but dealing with power discrepancies, dealing with somebody who's being unkind or like actually rude. That is on somebody to say, hey, please stop being rude, or elevating it to the LGS owner. It wouldn't behoove them to have somebody who's actually being rude in their store. That isn't good. And that's something that you can talk about. But I see all the time. And
there's levels of that. There's if you play Magic with me, and people out in the nation are going to be, oh my God, here's Brando. I talk a lot of trash during games.
That's fine. And that's fine.
And some people might think, Brando, like, and I'm like, yeah. And I can read people. I get it.
Yes.
There's a difference between like that and maybe somebody's just having a rough night, so they're being a little bit snippy, and somebody who's actually being an asshole.
Yes.
And all of those things are things that you can communicate to people and say, hey, look, you reel it back in, or hey, man, you having a bad night? Like you're a little hostile right now, or man, you're being a dick.
Yeah.
There's levels of escalation of everything,
and you know why it's tough is we don't have enough time remaining in this show before Editor Joe wants to murder us to kind of discuss all the subtleties. And Magic players, people who min-max, want all of those subtle things laid out. So, and I want to do it too because I talk about Magic, and I don't want anybody in the comments to say, well, what about this? Right? Like they do to Prof, and that's why he has to talk like a legal document.
Yeah, goddamn it.
Right? So
leave Prof alone so we can talk like a human instead of a legal document.
Please. We don't have enough time to lay that all out, but I think it's very important to know the difference between when somebody is, as a personality trait, acting rude or being a dick, and or the difference between that and being a dick in the game.
Yeah.
Only targeting you because last game, or only targeting you because they don't like Mill, or only targeting you because I don't like that commander, I don't trust you. Yeah. That's being a dick in the game. And that's hard.
Yeah.
And the difference between those two things and this third thing is I think that guy's a dick because his deck is way more powerful.
Sure.
And each of those things can change based on my experience with that person, my experience in Magic, and my experience in the culture or the meta that is the LGS.
Yes.
And that's why it's complex. That's why there's no one answer. Like, be a nice guy and welcome people into your LGS. We were flippant and hyperbolic about it because that's easy.
That one's easy. This one is tough. And
this one's tough.
Normally I just want to say cue ball in a sock, which, yes, that would maybe fix it, but it then brings a whole slew of other problems along to your life.
You can't fight fire with fire. You usually see that third one, the one guy who just is playing a mismatched power level because he's either better, more experienced, smarter, has more money, wants to win, misrepresents his deck. So what do you do to fight that? The easiest in-game way to do it, just play a more powerful deck. Then he'll play more powerful. Then you'll play more powerful. Then he will. Then you will. Then Smitty will. Then Brando will. Then Aiden will. And that's an arms race. And lots of people don't like that. That was the hot topic in Commander circa 2016.
Yeah, when Commander started being supported by WotC. And I think I even had the discussion with you and probably with Laura, where I don't like that they're printing the most powerful shit just into the format. They're printing things you have to play, air quotes, into the format. Like Animar or Kalia, right?
Yeah, that was even before that. That was like in 2011.
Yeah, like they're already printing like the best shit in the command. And it's like there's the arms race that started then, and I think that it's petered off a lot since then because there's so much stuff.
There's so much stuff, and the format. What I mean is everybody who plays the format, the collective hive mind that is the Commander thinking sphere now, knows that there are places for all of these kinds of things. I just want to play precons. I'm playing a mouth breather. You can see that because I have a CCO sticker that says mouth breather. Yes. I'm playing CEDH. We know what that is now. So one is a little bit solved, but on the kind of the micro level that is the LGS, sometimes you don't get that. Especially when you're dealing with somebody who maybe this is their second or third deck, and it's the most powerful thing that they think exists in the entire world, and they just want to gank guys with it, right?
Yeah.
And you got to tell them, hey man, this isn't appropriate for here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's the wrong power level.
Yeah.
Or you're playing against a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like this, like Do you have any other decks?
Yeah.
The actionable item is how do you solve this? How do you deal with it? Is if you play that again or whatever, we'll all switch power levels, so we'll all be on the same power level.
Yeah. Do you only have? Is that the only deck? You want to borrow one of mine?
Yes. Is that the only deck you have? Because it's not going to be fun for us if you just kill us on turn 2 every time.
Yeah.
Right? And that is a little bit having to go out of your own way, which then raises another issue. If you're one of those people who is shy or introverted and you're not comfortable, or you don't know how to do that, or you're 10 years old and you don't know that that's an option,
Yeah.
because you don't know how to talk to adults about what having a good time is. What's the actionable item? Get somebody to help. Ask for help.
Cue ball in a sock.
What's the actionable item? I think it's talking to the person or seeing if you can play in another pod. Just say, I'm going to switch it up, right? I'm going to see if anybody else wants to play at my power level. Talk to your LGS owner. See if they can pair up. Like Aaron, our LGS owner.
He knows everybody.
Different than 5-color mono white angel Aaron.
Yes.
This is just regular Aaron.
One less A.
Yes. This is regular Aaron. Who can I play with? Or who's a good community leader? Max Crandell and Dana on Commander Central talk about their LGS owner. Actually, their other host, Chris, works at the LGS, and he all the time pairs guys up with people that he knows will be a good fit. I think that's fantastic.
Wait, people trust Dana Roach to pair them?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd do that.
He's pretty good.
I don't trust him. He likes Manolith. Anybody that plays that many Manoliths, I don't know if I would ever trust that. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Same as last year, I guess. Yep. Dana Roach and his Manoliths.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna get a new Manolith this year. Like, what's the best 3-color mana rock of the year gonna be?
Ooh, that's a
good one. Yeah. So
the best 3-mana mana rock of last year, of course, was the 4-mana mana rock that was also a clone.
Yeah, that was a good one. When did Cursed Mirror come out? 2021?
Yeah.
That was a good mana rock right there. I play that one.
Me too.
I play that one for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's no real easy answer. There's no one thing that we can say, here, take this nugget of knowledge and you'll fix everything. Yep. The point is be open to being open. Yep. I like that because that's the tweetable.
That's a good one.
I like that. Be open to be accepted and be open to learning about what the culture and the meta is outside of the game.
Yeah, your store is going to be different than our store,
yeah.
But you probably want your store to be like ours because ours is really good.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Treat everybody with respect, and dignity, right, and and
that doesn't mean you can't talk shit to them because I talk shit to a lot of people that I barely know, and it's always done in good fun and in good faith, and people know that.
Yes, and here's what's going to help you win games. Here it is. You're going
to win every game ever.
Made you wait. When you interact with people, whether it's learning about their deck, welcoming them to sit down and play, and especially trash talking them.
Yeah.
You can pay attention to their mannerisms or where they redirect after you trash talk, right? Like, let's say I trash talk F.U. Aiden, and Brando is sitting here. I'm player 1, player 2, who cares? Hasn't drawn a land in 10 turns.
Yep.
Aiden's player 3, Brando's player 4. I trash talk Aiden because he played something bad. What's Brando gonna do because of that? Is he gonna pile on? And do I know because Brando piled on my trash talk that maybe I'm gonna be safe? Or don't attack me, I'm the worst guy and I trash talk myself. Oh yeah, you're not a threat. And then he targets somebody else. The trash talk sometimes, while fun, will give you kind of some intel, and it'll help everybody kind of loosen up and break some of the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the trash talk. I think that's why you trash talk.
That's why I do it.
Because humor sometimes breaks the ice.
Because then everybody's laughing, everybody's having fun, everybody knows that everybody's there to have a good time.
Yep.
And if people don't like it, then we just finish that game up and then move along.
Yeah, and if you're not there to have a good time,
what are you there for?
You're
there to play
gank on 10-year-olds?
You're there to play Derevi stacks and
yeah. Isn't that you?
No, I don't play Derevi stacks.
Oh, just 18 other stacks.
I play landfall stacks. Maria.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. Off and saving the motherfucking day, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Maria.
So we didn't solve any of the problems of the world as per usual when we do one of these episodes. You got any final thoughts of the day?
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
I do. I think
Okay.
that my final thought of the day is everybody should go to fusiongamingonline.com, use special promo code CCO Slam, save 5% of all the shit that you're going to buy anyway. And if you
Yep.
already have all the stuff that you need from all the sets that are coming out, you can go over to geekwood.ca, use special promo code CCO Podcast, save 10% off your high-end stuff to pimp your game outside the game, just like our man 5-color mono white angel Aaron. And also, both of those things help support the show and make us into happy humans, which allows us to continue to create super fun programming and content for all of you, which makes us happy. Because without you guys, we would be sad.
You know what I just thought of?
Tell me.
I forgot a prediction yesterday.
Oh, was it?
When Lord of the Rings comes out,
Oh, shit.
you can have 9 partners make a fellowship. And your 9 partners can go against the 9 ring wraiths.
So you could have either the
Your commander deck, 91 cards. 9 commanders. I don't think that'll be real, though. That was just something funny I wanted to share and forgot.
That could be pretty funny, though.
It's pretty cool.
What if it was like, if Ring Wraith was just like 1 card, but you could have 9 of them be your commander?
Oh, no. Ring wraith is going to be like 7 dwarves. Yeah. You can have 8 of them, but you have to play the Witch King as your commander.
Oh, that would suck, because Witch King's going to be terrible. You have to sack it whenever it gets blocked by a girl. What a piece of crap.
Oh, man. I hope that put a smile on somebody's face like it did me. That was the final thought of the day.
Final thought of the day on this episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!